Hey everybody, my mistake. The recording device stopped doing its job. So going on to rests, this is where the silence is. A rest is a silent beat. So rests, they still get beats, right? But you don't make noise during that time. The table below shows most of the rests you'll be using in this recorder method, and it tells the name of the rest, a rhythm name that you can call it, and how many beats the rest will get in 4/4 time. It's the same description as a note, but instead of sound, it is silence. Okay? So in this case, we've got let's start with whole rest. 4 beats, just like a whole note. Half rest, 2 beats, just like a half note. Quarter note, or quarter rest, 1 beat, just like a quarter note. Right? One makes sound, one doesn't. Just as simple as that. Now, you'll notice that the whole rest and the half rest, they look so similar. And the way I remember this is the symbol kind of looks like a hat. If I zoom in a little bit, and that's as far as it'll let me get, or that's as close as it'll let me get. So in this case, we have a hat that's right side up and a hat that is upside down. Now, gentlemen, when you run into a lady, you take your hat off for the lady, right? That's what being a gentleman is. You got to be a full gentleman, a whole gentleman. Make sure to take your hat off for the lady, right? To say how do you do, right? Ooh, that hat's upside down. So that is a whole rest. Whole gentleman makes a whole rest. Now, if you're not such a whole gentleman, you're half a gentleman, you keep the hat on. When the lady is present, you don't take your hat off. Well, that makes you half of a gentleman. Come on, guys. So, half rest, right side up hat. Okay? That's half a gentleman, whole gentleman, half gentleman, whole gentleman. Quarter rest. It's got a unique look to it. Okay? There are no other symbols in music that really look like that. So I just think of a lightning bolt. That's like, quarter rests go by pretty quick. So I think of a lightning bolt and how fast that goes by. Okay, so quarter rest gets 1 beat, half rest gets 2, whole rest gets 4. Moving on. Okay, so we're scrolling down. We're going to write in some of this stuff real quick. This one will go by pretty fast. So have your pencils handy. I'm going to use blue this time. So we've got this symbol right here, and it is filled in, and it's got a stem. Is it a note or a rest? It is a note. Okay, what kind of note is it? It's a quarter note, and those get 1 beat. That's it. Now the lightning bolt symbol, all right, goes by fast. It's a quarter rest. How many beats do the quarters get? 1, just like the quarter note. Okay, they're going to get the same number attached to them. Just one is sound, one is silence. Next, is that a note or a rest? Whoa, that's looking like a note to me. It's a whole note. How many beats do the wholes get? They get 4. They fill in the whole measure of 4/4 time. Okay, on this line, finally, we have a symbol that looks sort of like the quarter note, but it is not filled in the way that the quarter note is. So we're left with a half note. What's half of 4? It is 2. Okay, moving on. I told you we're moving a little quick today. So right here we got a half. Oh, I kind of already gave the answer away, but think about the hat being on top. Does that make it a whole gentleman or half a gentleman? Half of a gentleman. Not being courteous, taking the hat off all the way. So that gets 2 beats. Ignore number 6 and 7. We're moving on to number 8. Now is the hat, ooh, it's off, right? So that makes a whole gentleman. Whole is 4. Okay, there we have it. You have them written in. Now, again, this stuff makes way more sense when you're actually using them in music. Just talking about it doesn't get very far. So there's the stuff. We're moving on. Okay, everybody, you know about the staff. Here are the measures. All right, music is divided into short sections called measures or bars. So if you hear me say bar or measure, they mean the same thing. Okay, so like measure number 1, bar number 1. It's just hip music lingo. Okay, so music is divided into short sections called bars or measures. The measures are marked off by bar lines. There's a bar line right there. It's the vertical line. This tells you, hey, the next measure is starting. So there you are. There is a double bar line at the end of each piece of music. Bam, it's talking about that guy. So there's a thicker line and a thinner line. That tells you the song is over. All right? So when you're looking at this measure, or sorry, these 4 measures, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're back to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you get past the bar line, you go back to 1. All right, now you dancers, you thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? We don't count to 8 in music. However, the numbers are treated very similarly to when you're dancing versus the music, right? So you think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm smacking my microphone, slap, slap, slap. So think of it that way, dancers. If you are somebody who counts up to 8 when you dance or when you're counting off for your routines, with music, it's just 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time we go back to 1. But we imagine, right, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can imagine that for the dancers. So moving on, moving on. Okay? Get your recorders out, everybody. Bam! Hopefully you got it from the school. We got them here in the gym. Pickup times are 1 to 3 p.m., Monday through Friday. Then we've got Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 to 7 p.m. So make sure to come by and pick up your instrument, and that way you can play with us. All right, now let's review. Left hand. Bam, that's your left hand. That should be on top. Your right hand is on bottom. Okay? Now, let me show you where your left hand needs to go. You see the hole on the back? You got to make sure to put your left thumb over that. Most of the time, your thumb will be covering that hole. Then you've got 1, 2, 3. You do not use the left pinky. After that, you do 1, 2, 3 with the right hand, okay? So that's beneath. And there are notes that we're going to learn later on that use up all of those. But for now, we're going to stick with the note what's called B, and you'll see that on the chart right here. B, it's the middle line of the staff. You see the chart right here, the left circle, it tells you where your thumb is going to go. So that is filled in. The first finger is filled in as well. The rest of them are open. So that means we only have our thumb and our first finger down. And that's the note B. Okay, make sure your left hand is on top, right hand is on bottom. When you play, you got to make sure to use do, not to, and not a whole bunch of air all the time. Okay, it's going to be very soft air but steady air. Not. That'll create an unsteady sound. So make sure all the time. This is how your mouth looks when you put the recorder in, just like that. Make sure it's not, right? You don't want to just be blowing into the hole. You want to actually have the mouthpiece in your mouth a little bit, all right? Then after that, you blow steady air. Make sure to press firmly with the fingers. And then we're not facing our head down like this. Your head is still up. Fingers are just hovering over the other holes. So they're not down, they're not all the way up, they're just kind of there. Ready to play on to the next notes, right? So in that case, we are playing B, and you guys are going to hold it out right now. Ready? Go. Beautiful sound. If you're sounding like this, that means you're using too much air. If you're sounding like this, that means you're not using enough, right? You're holding back a little too much. Just a little bit more and keep it steady. We're going to do what's called echoing, and a lot of you already know this. Almost all of you know this. So I play a rhythm, you play it back. So I'll play, it'll be like da, 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 da. Then right after that is you. Da, 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 da. Then after that, it's my turn, and we trade, right? You got to try to copy my sound as best you can. Echo, me first. Bum, 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 bum. Jingle bells. bells, jingle bells. Da, da, triplet, bum, bum. Keep going. Last one. Very good. Make sure to use do the whole time, not ta, right? Use the D sound. Okay, now we're moving on. This is going to be our first song. Now, a lot of you already know when we're in class, normally I have recordings that play with you, and there's like drums and keyboards and guitars and all this crazy stuff. I can't play speakers into the computer because it'll just distort all the sound that we make, and it's not very great. I'm going to upload all of the recordings to the recorder resource for you to play along with whenever you want, okay? And it'll be on the Google Classroom. It'll be attached to a post for the lesson of the day, and you'll be able to click on it, and you can go to every recording. A lot of us, we've gone through most of this book already, but I just want to do review stuff before band because all of this does apply to band. Now, just remember, your left hand should be on top. Show you a little better. There we go. Left hand is on top. Right hand is on bottom because those of you who want to play the flute, right? If your right hand is up here, it's really uncomfortable. Same thing for clarinets and saxes. There are certain keys that just you can't reach with your right hand if it's up here. You have to have it down here no matter what. Left hand is up here. Bam. Left hand, right hand on bottom. There we go. Let's play through this first little ditty here, and then we're going to move on. Okay? It's just B. That means we're just playing B. I'm going to point along as we play. Here we go. 1, 2, just B. 1, 2, ready. All right, there we are. So very simple song. If you messed up on a note, that's fine. Go ahead and just rewind the video and play with me again. It's very simple, just like that. So moving on, everybody, we have another note called A. Okay, we know these notes for the most part. You'll see that for A in particular, you're just adding one more finger. Ugh, looking at a camera, it's weird. I'm having to do everything opposite. So right there, we've got thumb, first, and second finger. Okay, so it should look like this. But your finger's not going to be way up like that. It's going to be kind of hovering. Okay, so let's play that note together. Now go between A and B like this. We could do what's called a trill. A trill is when you move really, really fast between two notes. So there you go. That's A. So echo me on A. Echo me. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. That's it. Okay, zooming out here. Okay, moving on. Again, if you don't have your sheet music pulled up on your screen, you can. You can follow me here. I would find it difficult to follow me strictly here, but if you have a copy, print it out, use that, as well as your computer screen, have the document pulled up that's attached to this video, okay? So for here, just A. All right, that's the only note you need to worry about. Zoom in just a little bit more. Make sure this is above. Okay, there we go. So for this, we're only pressing down thumb 1 and 2. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Let me make sure the camera is visible. My screensaver keeps wanting to turn on. Here we go. 1, 2. Ready, and. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so these classes, you'll notice that some of them are a little longer, some of them are a little shorter. It just depends on how much time we have during this block and how quickly people can get on with the lesson. So our next lesson, I'll be moving on just from there. We're just going to keep going through just as a big review, and with songs after songs after songs. If you want to move on ahead, you can go ahead and do that. But our next lesson is going to start off here on A and B blues. And right now we're going to sight read it, okay? We're going to start with this on our next class. But we will sight read on this, and we'll get it nailed down. A and B, all right, A and B. There you go. It's just those same two notes. Now notice where the note changes. The first note is on a space, so F, A. Face in the space, F-A-C-E. That is an A. We play A all the way through the first line. Then all of a sudden, now we are playing B. You lift a finger. B, 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 B. Then suddenly the notes go down again, down to A. So make sure to slam that second finger down and make sure it's firm down. Not like breaking your recorder, trying to clench it, but just make sure to get it down quickly and firmly. Now you go back, you stay on A, then you go up to B, then back down to A. All right, let's play it together, starting on A. 2, 1, 2, ready. All right. Hey, that sounded really, really good. Obviously, I can't hear you, but I know you sound spectacular. So be sure that when we're going from A to B, starting on A, you lift a finger. Then when it goes back down to A, you just press it down, okay? Keep these fingers nice and close, hovering above, but not pressing down, okay? We all know that next note is G, but we'll check that out on our next class. Practice that at home, everybody. It's always good to work on your tone quality and making sure that we are playing that instrument and getting better every day. So, I will see you next week. You all keep rocking on. Have a fantastic, I believe a 3-day weekend is coming up pretty soon. This Friday, I don't believe we have any students. We're getting prepared at school to get you all back on campus. So, Monday is off. Then we've got Tuesday next week. We'll start off with Ms. O'Brien once again. Then, a couple days later, is with me. So, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment on anything that I post. Let me know if you have any questions or send me an email at rrogers@sesk12.org along with your school email. It's very important you use your school email. That's how it gets to me the quickest. Or you can just comment on anything on my Google Classroom, and that'll send me an email as well. So, y'all take care. I'll see you next time.